right, say hey everyone, welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquett. Alongside me today is my guy Mike M, the Pimp Slap Play himself. Mikey, what a hell of a baseball season it's been so far. How are you doing, and how's your baseball season going over there?
Hey man, I'm great. Sunday, it's a great fight day yesterday, and a lot of fun,
Yeah.
a lot of excitement. I didn't even make it home yet, so it's been good, man. But the baseball season's been positive. All-star break turmoil, but we've gotten through it, and we're moving forward, dude.
I feel that same way. How were the fights for you yesterday, Mike? Did you bet anything on them?
Yeah, the UFC was great. The UFC went out really well. It was there was a couple of opportunities to stack. The last fight didn't go the way I thought it would, but and then I had to highlight because I couldn't get the boxing fight of the year, but I saw the walkout there in highlight and replay from Crawford, so that was pretty legendary. It's some good stuff, man.
Yeah, it was that was all pretty cool. And then shout out to Clint, by the way. Big shout out to Clint, who had a gigantic day yesterday. Took off his shirt multiple times in one show. That's how you know he's having a good show and a good night. So shout out to him. And we appreciate everyone in the chat as always in here early. My guy Justin McElvey or Brian Ehrlich, he is always stacks pod over 1.5 bases for our guy Mickey Moniak there. Shout out to you, Justin. Tori Coker in the house, Ron Walsack, Troy Torrance, my guy. Shout out to you, Rocco Rogers in the joint, Nut Flush Allen in here. Our series tied 1-1 Nut Flush, and your team's got a lot of money on it today, so I'm a little concerned there. Jeffrey Blue, I cannot wait to get this started. And yeah, a 58-1 all submission parlay from Clint was ridiculous.
3-piece too. We were trying to monkey around with some KO props, and we couldn't get there, but I wish I'd have known there was a 58-1 sitting out there. Shame on me.
Yeah. Shit, fucking Clint just out there getting those subbies in there. So shout out to Clint, man. He's having a great year this year, and we love to see it. So let's get after it. Mike, I'm excited about this card. I don't have the most notes ever, but I have a couple plays in there. And I even tweeted out a wait question mark, which I've never done. I was like, do I just wait on this play? Because I think I'm going to bet this play, but we'll see. We'll see how that line affects it. I think it'll go over up to 8.5 here, but we'll see how that goes. And even better, old graphics on the show today too. These are the Dabby Cab graphics, or as I'm going to call them too. Let's start it off here, Mikey. Angels Blue Jays here. And what an interesting series this has been, just because this has been allegedly the most important series for the Angels all year, and they've lost both games so far, and it seems like they're going to lose this one too, Mike. I admittedly think this is still going to be a playoff atmosphere. Like, the Angels need this game, et cetera, and I think they can get some stoppage from Tyler Anderson. Now, obviously, the Blue Jays offensively can be a juggernaut. This year against lefties, 11th, 109 weighted runs created plus. And in the last month, their 150 weighted runs created plus is first best. So that is obviously a concern against Tyler Anderson, a slop jalop lefty who's not the best here, and Jose Barrios, who, again, it can be good, much better at home, et cetera. But I think both these guys can pitch well here. So I took the first 5 under 5 here, Mike. We were talking about it right before the show. I also took the under in this game because it's an early morning Peacock game, and it just every time I feel like these Sundays roll around, these early a.m. Peacock games just kind of start slow. They get the ball rolling earlier times than most. So I'm hoping that also plays a factor. Market-wise, another thing that helped me out here, I don't love betting the 97% money spots, but at least it has 39% of the bets. So, yeah, 39% of the bets and 97% of the money on the under in this game, Mike M. What do you think about it?
The Sunday games are tough, especially these early starts. It's not that early, I guess. It's 12 as opposed to 1:30. But, Barrios and Anderson, I don't trust in Anderson whatsoever. And, interesting spot for the LA Angels. Coming off a game where they've gone with 13 or more strikeouts. They're 0-19 that next game. This goes back to September of 2018. So there's a couple of years of history back into this thing where yesterday, of course, with they have 15 total Ks, 16 total Ks. So it kind of fits that criteria where I'm certainly not backing the Angels in this case here. From a Toronto perspective, in a Barrios start when the line's less than a 160, which we're at minus 194 right now, right? Toronto's 18-0 and 13-5 on the run line. Another stat there that I threw in there is on a Sunday, for whatever reason this is, on Sunday, the Toronto Blue Jays are 15-2 to the over. So crazy stats there. Crazy stats as far as what the Toronto Blue Jays can do overall. And, for this perspective, although we've seen a couple of tight games with this Angels Toronto matchup here Sunday, it's a getaway day. A couple looks that I have. I parlayed the Toronto Blue Jays collectively with the Philadelphia Phillies. I got a 166, a plus 166 on that spot. And I did take the over. So, I like this over 9. I'm going to go with that number. You said it already. 97% of the cash on the under is not a spot I'm going to play with. So, I think either of these guys are capable of puking up a ton of runs in any given inning. We're going to probably see them in bunches, probably around the third or fourth inning as well. So I'm going to look for a live opportunity there too. But Toronto over 9 for me is the spot that I'm locking down. And that
I hope all those runs are scored after the 5th inning. We can both still cash, which would be nice, but let's see what happens. It'll be a fun one to watch. I'm excited to watch this game. Like I said, this might be a Blue Jays smackdown, but the Angels need it, and it'll be very interesting to see how they're affected after going all in and then getting swept promptly. So let's go to our next game in our card here, and I've got to get used to where the graphics are here. Brewers Braves here. AJ Smith Shawver starting for the Braves versus Colin Ray. It was funny. I didn't bet it yesterday, Mike, but I just knew that Teheran was going to get fucking crushed in a back-to-back spot. I was like, oh, God, he's going to get murdered. And, of course, he did. I didn't bet on it, which is annoying. But I don't know, man. It just feels like the Braves woke up again, and I just don't want to fade him here. Colin Ray just isn't the guy that I think can shut down this Braves lineup. So this was one of the easier passes for me. There's actually a bunch of, pretty simple, I don't want to talk about these games. It's just, too high price. There's nothing to bet on, et cetera, et cetera. So I passed on this game as well. I respect A.J. Smith-Shawver enough to think that he could shut down the Brewers, honestly.
Yeah. 97% of the total, again, on the under. I fell for that trap yesterday. I think I was around 80% or so on that under, and they just they covered the over themselves, the Braves, right? So, tricky spot. Tricky spot here with this Braves game. I think that they're certainly in a spot. I like Rhea. I'm not against a Rhea situation here, but it's definitely a stay away for me. It's a pass. I think there's going to be a bunch of runs. I think Austin Riley is a great look, of course, for the RBI and home run spots. If you look at, let me pull his numbers up right now. If you look at, where is he? You can get Austin Riley's RBI. It's plus 106. It's not the greatest number in the world. We're going to teeter around plus 400 on the home run. So it's just a pass game for me. I don't have anything. I don't have any interest in this game.
Agreed there. See, it's a beautiful thing when you and a guest are just simpatico on a game that's like, oh, who wants to bet this fucking game? Who wants to bet this fucking game? Let's go to this next one. I feel like that this every time when it comes to the Phillies, Mike. It's quite funny. I just never bet the Phillies. I can never get there. There are definitely days where I would love to bet the Phillies, right? I'd want to bet their games, but I can just never pull the trigger, Mike. And it's very funny to me. And we have this trend going of the sharps just loving the Pirates. I don't know what it is about the Pirates. It's very Cleveland Brown-esque from the other years where the Browns were horrible, but 30% of the money and 30% of the bets and 60% of the money on the Pirates here. Just no thanks again. I want nothing to do with it. Christopher Sanchez has been pretty good this year. Honestly, he's been an unsung hero for this Phillies squad just to give their rotation more depth and just quality. But I don't want to fade. I don't want to back him here. Rich Hill on the other side has been, again, just up and down and fine. He's kind of just been exactly what you would expect from Rich Hill, but I expect him to get traded, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if he was actually a Boston Red Sox as well. So I ultimately ended up passing on this game as well, but I respect Rich Hill. He had a pretty good start against the Padres last time out, 4 1/3, 7 hits, 2 earned runs on a home run. The rest of his starts have been like 5 earned runs, 4 earned runs, 3 earned runs. So maybe even an over in this game, but nothing here for me again.
So I faded the Phillies 2 days in a row. I obviously 1-1 in that spot. It was a great price point yesterday as well. I kind of had a little number I was looking at there, but I saw some Pirate stats today that are around the 1-16 and an 0-16 spot as well. So that's where I had the confidence to put them in the parlay, right, with the Blue Jays. So kind of start the day off with that little plus 166 spot. 2 other spots that I've been rolling through, and I'm going to take it again today, is the no run in the first inning for the Pirates game. It's an even money line right now at plus 100. And I like the under in this game. As much as I think it's going to be a spot where it's a getaway day. We've got Rich Hill and we've got Sanchez on the mound, and we've got guys where you would think, those guys could easily let a ton of runs up here. But I think it's kind of that scenario where we go the other direction. I'm looking at the lines right now. They open at 9.5, and it's down to 9. Again, when I look at some of these props and some of these guys are kind of very, over the 200 mark in the RBI spots, to me suggest that the books don't think there's going to be a ton of runs here. We've got 83% of the cash now on that under. So I locked in the under 9. I'll take the under 9 in this spot here. It's minus 110. Minus 115. I'm on my buddy's computer here, so I'm looking at his screen. It's a little different. It's no screen, but it's a little different for me. So I've got the under 9 and the Nerfy, no run first inning.
That's funny. I like the look. You mentioned the market there. It's very indicating of the under there. Pirates, Phillies here. See here, I'm on money lines for the total here. Like you mentioned, 85% of the bets and 83% of the money on the under there. So very interesting. And by the way, I forgot to mention it for the Braves Brewers game on the under. 79% of the bets and 97% of the money on the under in that game too. So keep your eyes out on that. Money line wise for that game, the Brewers Braves, 72% of bets and 60% of the money on them as well. So keep your eyes out for that. Nothing here for me. Mikey liking the under here. I kind of feeling up to it as well. So shout to you. Appreciate the shout outs in the chat as always. Melon here, Justin, like we mentioned earlier, Vitalis, my guy, is in here. Vitalis is using those Twitter fingers more. So shout out to you, Vitalis. I'm seeing you on Twitter more. I love to see that. And even a shout out to Helga on this Sunday. Shout out to you, Vitalis. Helga, asleep just mere feet away from me. So shout out to Helga. Nasty Nate in here. Philly Eagle Flyer in here as well. So shout out to you. Wow, look at this. Philly Eagle Flyer. Yeah, and he's on Pitt first 3. Shocking. A shocking bet there from Philly Eagle Flyer.
Shocking.
The other day he came in, he was like, I'm on the Phillies. I was like, that's the most unsurprising thing I've ever seen in my life. But now he's on them. Shout out to you. Tigers, Marlins, next game up. I think that line-wise, I think this is the most interesting game. It's almost a minus 160 favorite for Jesus Luzardo here, who's very good. But the market here is just telling you, like, everyone loves the Tigers today. 46% of the bets and 93% of the money on the Tigers. Now it's higher. So that number is coming down a little bit. But it's just, it feels like we got a public dog here, Mike. And Tariq Skubal, I understand. He's been pitching really well. He had one really, really bad start. The rest have been really good. And I understand it, but the Marlins hit lefties exceedingly well. This whole year, they're 4th, 117 weighted runs created plus. This month, they're 10th, but still 116 weighted runs created plus. So I'm not betting the Tigers here. I just don't think that Tariq Skubal can hold them down. Admittedly, I kind of looked at the over here, but I can't trust the Tigers against left-handed bats or left-handed pitchers, unfortunately. This month, 95 weighted runs created plus. It's okay. And for the full season, they're 24th with 94. So they're just fine, but just not good enough for me to get to an over on this game. But for me, Mike, if I'm a parlay guy, I take the Marlins and I take like another team with a low percentage money on as a home team. I consider taking them as a parlay there. But what do you think?
Tricky spot. I had the unfortunate privilege to watch this game yesterday. It was the only spot that was on in that transition between afternoon sports and then the fight night there. So what I saw to Detroit and Miami was kind of a sad state of affairs. There was a couple of spots with some runs. I was on the Tigers. I like that Tiger spot. The Tigers And the dog in this series, the Tigers Marlins, the dog has won 4 of the last 5 games. The total has gone under for the Detroit Tigers 7 in a row after they played on the previous day. So no rest in between as well. I'm going to go back to a spot here where as much as the number's a little tricky for me, the first 5 under 3.5 with Luzardo and the mound there and an opportunity for that he brings to the table against the bats that I saw that were a little bit cold yesterday, it seemed to me. I don't expect a ton of runs on either side of this thing. The 7 scares me. What I've seen with a lot of Detroit games, they'll score in that first inning. That total will go up to 8, 9, something in that range. And then it goes under. So you live bet this thing under after they score early on. The no-run first inning's priced around -150. So for me, that's just a little too pricey to get involved with. But it does suggest that there's going to be that kind of lower score. So, kind of the opposite is my expectation here where we do see a quick run. I am going to take that first 5 under 3.5. I think it's an opportunity to live bet if we do see a run in that first inning. Get your clickers out and start firing away on that under when it gets up around 8.5 or 9.
Agreed there. I like that live look. If they score a run early, I definitely would say take that under. Nutflush, by the way, we all know that Nutflush has sage wisdom, especially when it comes to Giants. And he's saying that it looks like San Francisco might get Eddie Rodriguez from the Tigers. So that'd be very interesting. Nutflush will keep us updated there. And speaking of trades, Justin McAfee asking a great question. Jose, do you still feel the Rangers don't make the playoffs out of getting Max Scherzer? Obviously that's an upgrade because it's nice not to have slapdick Cody Bradford throwing out there every other game. And now he's out there today. I honestly really still do think they don't make the playoffs. Maybe I'm just being stubborn and bullheaded, but Max Scherzer is just not the same guy, And I respect Max Scherzer a shitload, but I think he's susceptible to get touched up, and I'll be very interested to watch him in the future. The thing is, the issue with me not thinking they're going to make the playoffs is that the management and ownership is going all in, and they're fucking busting their balls to make the playoffs this year and win the division. I'm like, fuck, man, slow down, because they're going to go get some relief arms too. So it's an issue. It's an absolute issue, my guy Justin. But I'm still on the no side. If they pick up some more relief arms, then I'll be a little more worried as well, like Jordan Hicks and someone else, I guess. But we'll see.
With the bats as hot as they are for those guys, why are you so they're not going to make the playoffs? Is it their division that they're in? Is that what keeps you looking at that thing saying they're not going to get there?
Well, it's partly just the American League. I think I always tend to not like teams that have just all offense. I always think that the offense can go cold for a month. And if that offense goes cold, they're fucked because they don't have pitching. And I still think the Astros win the division. So that's one of those things where, like, all right, if I think the Astros are going to win the division, they're going to have to make the wild card. And the wild card in the American League is just the battle against the AL East. And I just ultimately think the Blue Jays and it's going to come down to my Boston Red Sox, it seems, is the last team in that wild card hunt. And I think they're just as good as the Rangers. And I say that as a man that's going to go to Rangers Red Sox next month with Dabby Cab and bet money on the game and probably be extremely annoyed when Dabby Cab's telling me, "Oh, I told you so. These fucking Rangers, dude, they're unstoppable." So we'll see what happens there.
I appreciate the Dabby voice.
Yeah, it's a good one. I've got it down. Pat, obviously, and Dabby Cab watching the program, so we appreciate you, my man. Nationals met -240 here, and Justin Verlander's on the bump. The real question is, Mike, let's start with this. Is this Justin Verlander's last start as a Met?
Yeah, I think so. Why not? Package him up and ship him out of town. He's got to bring the family in tow, which would be a definite loss of asset for the New York Mets. But where's he going to go is the question. I think that he goes to a team on the AL side of the house as well. But he hasn't really been, from the up and down the Mets lineup, the pitching staff, the bullpen. The Mets have been underwhelming this year, to say the least. They just can't seem to. For me, anyhow, I can't seem to get the rhythm with them. I did take the Nats first 5 yesterday, so I was able to get that cash, but I'm probably going to go right back to it again today. I'm not a big fan of what the Mets are doing at all. And from a Nationals perspective, competitive series, competitive team as of late. Yesterday was the old Patrick Corbin day and blah, 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 but there was money to be made on Patrick Corbin day. They're hitting the ball well. They're seeing the ball well. And I think it's another opportunity here where we're going to see a little bit of the same. I'm not a big fan of Williams on the mound. Williams and his 4.47 ERA. They're both 5-5 pitchers, though. So it's kind of one of those coin flip scenarios where, anything could happen. So for me, I'm going to take a crack at it. I'm going to go back to the Nats again in the first 5 at plus 205. Great spot, I think, to in a potentially low-scoring situation where the Mets themselves, when they've played on the previous day, go to the under. They play to the under. They've gone 8 of their last 9 games to the under in that situation. Cold bats, sluggish start. Anything can happen at a plus 205 for me on the money line. I'll take a shot at that Washington Nationals.
I thought I had a big dick when I was going to throw out a plus 140 first 5 money line. But no, fucking plus 204. Just drop your nuts down there. Shout out to you there.
It's on the table, man. It's a great opportunity. Great price. If you want to be a little less risk adverse, take the plus a half. If you want to take the run line in the first 5 at plus a half, you can grab that number at plus 128, plus 125. Still some good value there, but for me, it's all or nothing. I'll take the push if I have to, but I'd rather take the risk and get the reward at a 2-to-1 the payout. So it's not worth laying that half a run. If the Nats are going to be in this thing and competitive, they might as well get the win. Otherwise, they're going to be down like 8-0. So I'm going to go to the side of the plus 205. It's good money.
Agreed there. I like that look. Shout out to the chat as always. Reclaim James apologizing for something. I don't even know what you're apologizing for, Reclaim. I love you, my man. You can say whatever you want in the chat. I don't know what you said that might have offended me, but I appreciate you, my man. Speak your mind, do your thing, Reclaim. I appreciate you for watching. BJ's joining us as well. Shout out to BJ. Just woke up. Get in it, BJ.
Gabby, Kelly,
and
Mel. You guys all came out today. Sunday fun day.
Of course. What else are we going to do on a Sunday? We might as well gamble our faces off. I wish there were more horse races today, Mike. I was significantly leveraged on Forte yesterday. I didn't watch the race, and he wanted like a very close photo finish, and I sweat my ass off secondhand texting Jimmy about it as well. It was very fun. That's how I told Jimmy this is how horse racing should be consumed, secondhand via text, because that's just so much more stressful. But it was a good time. Forte. Verlander to the Astros. I think that's probably going to end up happening, which is going to be hilarious. Just come on back, Justin.
Take him that salary and get out of town.
Yeah, Kate Upton, I'm sure won't hate it either. And Nutflush, I think, is right about this. I think I just put Dom Ricci and Dabby Cab into one voice, and I think that's how it goes. I'm not sure exactly how that goes, but that's how it is. The gas report, and I'm getting a lot better about calling my guy the gas report, and not the gas station report. I don't know why I used to do that all the time, but shout out to my guy Gas Report in here as well. So thank you for watching, my man. Let's go on our next game here. I had nothing on that game. I'm glad that you had enough to say there, Mike, because I'm very interested in the Nats here, but I'm just too pussy to fade Justin Verlander. So let's go to our next game, Guardians White Sox here, and I wanted nothing to do with this series really at all. And then I woke up today and I was like, under 9. Why not? So I took the full game under 9 here, thinking this is going to be a sleepy getaway day for both squads here. Market indicating that it's an under game. And, I fucking hate betting these giant money spots. I don't know why I've done it now twice here. And I didn't do it consciously, but I fucking did it again, Mike. 58% of the bets and 98% of the money on the under here, under 9. And hoping that 50-50 ticket split maybe buoys me a little bit, but 98% of the money on the under here. I'm on the under. Do I feel great about it? Not the most. I don't like betting those 99% spots, but I think Savali can pitch well here. He's done fine this year. It's funny that I guess Aaron Savali is the ace of this staff now with no McKenzie and no Bieber in there. So I respect him, and I think he can pitch well here against the White Sox, who we know are horrific. And Michael Kopech, who is very bipolar. I'm pretty sure he leads the league in walks, so that's not ideal. But I just think he can pitch well here. It seems like it's Good start, bad start, good start, bad start for him. 5 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned last time. 3 home runs against the Cubs, coming off of a 5 2/3 1-run performance against the Mets. So I think this is his time for his good start. I think the Guardians' bats are horrible, obviously. He pitched a 7-inning shutout against the Guardians earlier this year as well. So full game under 9 here. There's a lot of runs there between both squads that suck offensively.
Tricky series. The Guardians suck. I don't know what's going on. I like Naylor. I like both Naylor guys. I like Jose Ramirez has been my guy. I've been calling him Jose Bouquett Ramirez on some of the other shows I go on.
Yeah, I love that.
But good. Just to pay tribute and homage here. But at the same time, the totals have been kind of right there for this spot when it comes to the Guardians. Or I'm sorry, the White Sox particularly. They got a 9. It was a 7-2 game, right? It was a 3-0 game before that and a 6-3. So this series has been kind of flirting around that number. What's going to push me over the opportunity here is the Kopech number that I came across. So in a previous game where he's been averaging more than 1.45 walks and hits in an inning, it's 1-17 to the under, specific to a Kopech start. So as much as I know that both these sides can kind of lift things off the ground quickly, the first 5 under 5 for me was a spot that I jumped on at -115, and then I took the full game as well at that 9 at -110. So I've been on the under this entire series, and it's been stressful to say the least. Yeah, BJ is right. Kopech is horrible. He's not the guy, but this trend specifically points to him and his bloated stats in the previous spot. So I felt like it was a good opportunity. The 5's a good number I'm comfortable with. I certainly like it to be more than 4.5, of course, but the 9's where I'm a little bit more concerned about that, but it'll give me some wiggle for a live bet. I just think it's strong enough spot here on getaway day to keep to the under. I'm not a big under guy. I hate playing the unders. Who wants to sit around and not watch any runs? But in this case here, I just think this number makes too much sense. At -120 for the first 5 and the under 9 at -110. I'm locked in on.
Well, I love to hear that. Rocco thinks it's going over. Philly Eagle Flyer on the first 5 and full game unders. I really like Justin saying it, and I agree wholeheartedly. The 99-90% money spots I think should be faded most of the times, and here I am on fucking 2 of them. So it's extremely annoying. I will admit that, and I'm sure Justin has heard me say that many a times, that I think we can fade those spots and make money. And here I am on one. So I like the under here. I'll fucking pray. Mike, the thing I had a realization of last night, I was thinking, I was watching a game and it was 5-3, and I was like, that's a lot of runs. And I had like the over like 8.5 or something like that. I'm like, I'm still not cashing right now. And it's 5-3. I was like, 9 runs is a lot of runs. And I was like, okay, well, let's try to take some unders here. And I went 2-2 yesterday. Red Sox obviously lost on that walk-off, which was, I think, Mike, those are the worst kind of beats. When your team's down the whole time, you come back very late in the game. You're like, oh my God, I have life. And then you immediately get walked off. Just no, like even time to breathe. So it's pretty funny. But yeah, I'm on the under in this game. Mike is on the under in this game. So let's fingers crossed and hope there's no offense in this game. By the way,
that one last thought on that there too. When you look at the Kopech starts, so the projected lineup for the Guardians today, although they do have both Nailers projected in there with Ramirez, as much time as they've faced this guy, there's only got 4 guys that have actually made contact. They're hitting 200, 091, 111. They're not hitting Kopech very well on the Cleveland side of the house. And the same thing kind of goes on more so to the White Sox. I would lean on the side, but I just think it's an opportunity where we see that under. We already talked about it. I think it's a good spot.
Pretty crazy. Mel, a good bet here. I'm assuming that total is just straight 11.5, but he's saying you can parlay that under 11.5 and Michael Kopech over 2.5 walks at +180. Not bad there. The 2.5 walks obviously scares me because I don't bet those props, but why not bet it on the guy that walks the most fucking guys in the league? So it's hilarious. I guess it's just because of innings. But when I looked at Manoah and his last starts, and he dominated yesterday, obviously, he's like, his last starts were like no strikeouts, 5 walks. I was like, oh my God. It's like four strikeouts, 5 walks. I was like, Jesus. And then I looked and I was like, wow, Michael Kopech is actually the leader. I was like, that's so bad. And it makes me feel better about the Chris Sale trade as well. So thank you, Michael Kopech, for sucking. Appreciate you, my man. Twins Royals. And this is finally my big dick first five under, or first five spot, I should say. I took Royals first five money line here, plus 143. You're Ryan Yarbrough. Sure. He's been pitching really well since he's come off the IL. And, I think if a team was smart, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they took a flyer on Ryan Yarbrough in the trade deadline. He's pitched well in the last couple of days, 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 5 2/3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. That was at Cleveland, at Detroit. And then he pitched at Cleveland again and basically had the same exact start, 6 innings, 1 hit, 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run. So it's hilarious. But I just think he can, do his thing, dice up a little bit, just do his lefty shit. Minnesota against lefties this year, second worst, 82 weighted runs created plus full season. And this month they are 26, 79 weighted runs created plus. So give me the roll of the dice here on one of the worst teams against lefties. Plus 143, first five money line against the Twins here.
Yeah, that's I like that look, man. That's a good spot. Got an opportunity to get some plus money and close the gap. I'm going to go kind of in the same direction where you're thinking, the Royals can get it done. I'm going to go with that first five under again. Hate to have all these unders on the card, but it makes sense to me. I got wind coming in right to left, slightly in at around 6 miles an hour is a negligible factor to me. 7th highest situation for runs, but minus yesterday's game, that first five under from Minnesota has been kind of trucking right along for me. So it's kind of that if it's not broke, don't fix it. Although yesterday there was that explosion early. The benefit by having that explosion early was I didn't have to invest any more time after that second inning in it. But I'm going to go right back to it here. I think it's a great Kansas City spot. Can't get upset about that. But Kenta Maeda and Yarbrough, I think it's a good spot here for staying under 5. We might teeter the line and get there. I see some 4.5s out there. I'd rather have the 5 than the 4.5 itself, just from that opportunity. But Maeda's been playing well in the last couple of goes since he's come back up and getting it done. So I'm comfortable with it. I think it's a great spot. I wouldn't be mad at anybody that's looking at that no run. The no run first inning spot for Minnesota has been a real profitable one this season as well. But I'm going to stretch it out the full 5 and say under 5 in that first 5.
What's the Nerfy at?
It's even money. Plus 100.
That's I will admit, Mike, I have not bet one all year. It's very tempting. By the way, Fanatical Jim just said Yarbrough props were just pulled. So if he's not in the game, I'll throw myself off a building. So that'll be very fun. Mike, I don't know if you watched.
Cancel, right? You cancel with action. So first action play.
I would just be pissed because I like this bet, actually. The first two, my first two bets, I've immediately come with stiff resistance. You're on the other side of one of them. Rocco likes the other side of one of them. I'm like, fuck. Is that 0-2 right there? And then this bet, I'm like, all right, I like this bet. And then it gets pulled. That would fucking kill me. But it'll be funny nonetheless. And it's hilarious. I've been so wrong on Kenta Maeda. Kenta Maeda is probably one of the pitchers I've been the most wrong about this year. I said this motherfucker was almost in the KBO, and he's been pitching well. So hopefully he fucks it up here. But I like this game. I can't wait. I actually cannot wait to watch this game, which is something you don't say very much Royals games. All right, let's move on.
Situation too, where the record for that guy's misleading, because as much as it doesn't look great, the record's really not much of a factor for me when it comes to starting pitchers, because the rest of the team can suck around him and he can still play well. And look at all those years with the Mets. We know who it was, and we know what happened out there. It's just a situation where he doesn't get any run support, which again goes to why I like that under. So anyhow,
agreed. By the way, Billy Brisbane joining us. Billy, by the way, great job last night on the UFC stream. I saw Billy just laying down in his bed at one point. I thought that was hilarious.
He was lounging. I saw it.
Feet up. I don't hate it. It would be funnier, Billy, put yourself out and then you have like a little chair, a little Mai Tai, give yourself the full relaxation, maybe an umbrella too. That'd be nice. But he's saying just tapping it. Mike, do you like any Philly player props here? Looking to fade Rich Hill today.
I like a Schwarber RBI spot. If I was going to look at that, he's got an RBI in 7 of his last 8 games. And if you want to fade Rich Hill, no spot like that, any better. But I'm on the under 9 in that game, Billy. So I kind of stayed away from the prop side of the house, but I wouldn't be mad at a Schwarber spot.
Beautiful. And by the way, I guess I shouldn't assume genders. So shout out to Mel, who is like, why do you assume I'm a guy? Why do you assume? You're right. You're right. I assumed that Kelly was a woman, and Kelly's a guy. So shout out to Kelly in here as well, Kelly McGinnis, who, by the way, plays in a men's golf league. And I would love to know, Kelly, how you're shooting, because I'm a golf addict now. You know, Mike, I'm at the point where all my friends are starting to play golf now, and I've officially got a good foursome, and we're going to start gambling on holes now. So it's going to get ugly. It's going to start getting ugly on the golf course, and it's going to be very fun betting $10 a hole and shit now. So I'm very excited for that as well.
Carts opposite drivers. Look that game up. COD. That's a lot of fun when you're golfing.
Carts opposite drivers.
Yeah, so you break the golf round in and you play partners. So it's your score and their score collectively, but you're rotating throughout the foursome. Well, I'll fill you in later. It's a lot of fun. It's a great opportunity to kind of meld handicaps together too, so everybody gets to play with everybody. It's fun.
Beautiful. I love to hear that. It's a good thing. All your friends starting golf around the same time. We all fucking suck. So
yeah, y'all suck together, but you'll get better together too, and that's what makes it fun.
Exactly. And by the way, fucking Kelly playing some ball. High 80s, low 90s. Kelly out here. Shout out. And by the way, and Billy's building that bankroll for the new computer. Hey, I love that shit. With some of the Clint's action last night, if you got some of that in your action last night, you could fucking buy yourself a chair or two. So shout out to you, Billy, and shout out to Mel, who got this all going here as well. And by the way, Dabby Cat put this in the chat, and I need to just reemphasize this as well. As always, go tune into the sesh on Mondays. My show's on Monday as well as Dabby's. His is the earlier show, so tune in to the sesh with Dabby and Dutch Boy Fresh. Even though I'm not his biggest fan, they do still do a good job on the show, and they all the drops and stuff are great. So and we've got a great drop for you, Mike. I love that drop. So shout out to them as well.
Yeah, I didn't know there was some resistance between the inner workings there, but that's maybe for another day.
Yeah, it's not, Dabby Cab loves talking about it. I'm just not a fan of Dutch, it's just what it is. I make my beefs very public, I'm very direct about all the people that I do and don't like. It's very nice. It keeps things easy, I don't talk behind people's backs. It's just like I'll just tell you to your face that I don't like you. Makes life easier.
Just put that dirty laundry right out there and let everyone see it.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't care. Fuck it. It's fine. Again, I don't like Dutch. I respect Dutch, and I appreciate what he does for the chat. At times he doesn't. Rays Astros. I bet the over in this game yesterday, and it made me feel like a smart boy. It's one of those bets, Mike, where you can walk around like if you're like. Let's just say you're at the fair, you're at the fair, you're enjoying your bet. You can just walk up to a stranger and be like, hey, man, I bet the over in that game. Look at the score. So I felt great about that. What are we going to do here today with BLAC and a bullpen day for the Rays? I don't know. I just never know what to do with bullpen days unless it's the Red Sox. And obviously it's because I obviously watch the Red Sox a ton. I don't watch the Rays as much as I should. So I passed this game, Mike. But let's talk about the market real quick before I give it to you, because always the market's the most interesting part of these breakdowns. The market for Astros Rays here, as someone is making a shitload of noise in my house, 77% of the bets and 59% of the money on the Astros here. Totals wise here, let's go. Under Palooza, 70% of the money and 88% of the bets, 70% of the bets and 88% of the money on the under there. So unsurprising, honestly, after that huge offensive explosion yesterday, I could see why people are betting the under. This is one of those games where I appreciate both of these teams being really good, but I want nothing to do with it, honestly, just gambling wise. It's funny that it's the opposite spectrum of like your Nationals Mets game. That game is shitty and I just want nothing to do with it. This game is just like too good, I guess. It's too good and I don't know what to bet on it. So I passed on this game.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Astros. Tampa Bay, kind of the founders of the bullpen day, right? That's kind of how they play ball all season. And they've got great, depth when it comes to their bullpen and their entire pitching staff. But for me, I'm going to go with that BLAC spot. Houston Astros, not a team when they got all their pieces back together that you want to spend time fading. It's certainly not in the profitable business. They're kind of in a series split spot right now with Tampa Bay. They just whacked around Texas. I think they're starting to heat up. You saw yesterday's explosion, 17-4. The bats were firing, and I think it continues again today. I think it's a great price too. You know, the fact that it's a bullpen spot to me, opening up as a dog, they've moved to that favorite condition. It's minus 120 is the best number I can see out there. I feel like that's just giving us a great opportunity to take advantage here. And, you know, Tampa's a tricky squad as well in their own right, but I think Houston's got their pieces back together. They're starting to get in the groove. And I'm sure we'll talk here shortly about another one of your favorite teams that's starting to get their pieces back together that's in that groove as well. But I'm going to go with the Astros here.
Oh, yeah. That baseball team, Mike, that fucking baseball team. I love that. I don't know what it is, Mike. I guess a lot of people from Philadelphia just fucking love this channel. Shout out to Philly's Backwoods in here as well. He dropping a yeah, man. And he said, let's see here.
Yeah, man.
Cubs, Blue Jays, 2-leg, or change the Blue Jays for the Orioles or Red Sox? You know, I honestly, there was another parlay. I think mine was the Marlins. I like the Marlins today, so maybe consider that. But it's just because 99% of the money is on the Tigers there. So, yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you for asking, and thanks for the comments here. Let's get after it because this is the comments are wild today. You know, I bring up a little beef, some work beef, and now everyone's freaking out. And of course, Dabby Cab said it in itself in the chat. He's like, "Oh, I fucking love stoking this beef between Dutch and Jose. I fucking love it." So yeah, no, this is Dabby's world, and we're just living in it, I guess. Next game, Cubs Cardinals, a great rivalry game, but a game that I want nothing to do with. I should have faded Adam Wainwright yesterday, even though he pitched pretty well. But again, this is just one of those games where I had nothing on it. I thought it was pretty surprising to see Steven Matz to get a minus 130 favorite. Now he's minus 135 here. Kyle Hendricks is respectable, but it just seems like the Cardinals have seen Kyle Hendricks so many times in the years that I think that they've just kind of got his number and they can get on him here. And that's why the number is the way it is. Because the Cubs have been one of the hottest teams in baseball. I think they still have the longest winning streak in baseball at 8 wins right now. So I respect the Cubs, but it seems like today is a Cardinals spot just based off the line. Let's touch on the market again before I pass it off to Mike. 71% of the bets on the Cubs, but only 52% of the money on the Cubs. So that's like your big red flag there. The 29%, 48% of the money there. It seems like there's just bigger bets in the Cardinals. And I think this is a Cardinal spot here, honestly. Now, how will I bet the Cardinals, or am I going to bet the Cardinals? I don't think so. I still don't want to fade a team on an 8-game winning streak. I'll be honest, but it's Cardinals or nothing for me, Mike M. What do you think?
Yeah, I ultimately passed on this game. Both these teams are just tough spots for me to bet on. I know that the Cardinals haven't been doing so well against their division, but the second half team that they are the last 3 years historically suggests to me that they're the spot. Do I want to lay a minus 130? You know, when you see the bets, right, you see 15% of the bets, but 47% of the money on the Cardinals side of the things, to me says that's sharper money or at least bigger money. And what the books did with that is they opened it up at minus 145 and they moved it to minus 130 saying, I see your bigger bets. I know you're a big player or you're a syndicate or something to that degree, and we don't care. It's minus 130. So, you know, I think in that situation, it's probably a Cubs spot, but I'm just going to pass. I'm going to stay right away from that game. It's at a stupid 2:00 window as well, so I'm off that game.
Yeah, nothing for me. And by the way, Joey Harb's right. You know, I don't like Dutch, but if we all got together, it would be fine. It would be fine. We'd be friends. You know, we'd be friendly until he puts me in a headlock and acts me like a child. But I think it'd all be fine. And Publipalooza 3 will be a great time. So Joey Harp, definitely don't let my petty beefs affect anything as well. So shout out to Kelly heading out to golf this morning. Beautiful day here in Calgary, and he said his parlay today is for funds.
Yeah.
He likes it. Toronto, Atlanta, Philadelphia, Houston, Padres, all at minus 1.5 there. Shout out to you, Kelly. Hit him straight, my man. Hit him far, and let me know how that goes. I'm interested in all golf stories as well. Let's go. Yeah, Dabby is obsessed with getting me on the sesh now. He's just been obsessed with getting me on the sesh with Dutch. So
you got to get in there, make an appearance, dude. It's a lot of fun. We got a new segment we're premiering tomorrow, so a lot of fun. You know, the Pimp Slap play of the day has been firing, and the new segment's going to be a lot of fun as well. So it should be. It's a must watch at the very least. Must watch.
It is a must watch. Yeah, the session is always a must watch. And Billy, coming from over the top here. Jesus, he said, "I will say Dutch got to be a solid 5'5". Oh fuck, that's good, Billy. It is one of the highlight moments of my life, Mike M, was being taller than Dutch. I will admit that. So I love to see that.
Just makes it
Rocky.
For me.
Well, yeah,
just makes it uncomfortable for me. That's all.
That's what we want to do here, Mike. That's part of the recipe here. Make us uncomfortable. A's Rocky, easiest pass game of the card for me. It was -110 last night. Now it's -118 for the Rockies. That is literally the only reason I would bet the Rockies here today. Otherwise, I want fucking nothing to do with this series. Easy pass. What do you think?
Tricky game. I'm on the Athletics. I got it at +100. Even money spot. The money's 50-50. The push factor for me, the spot that gets me into that game is when the Colorado Rockies are in a spot coming off a game where there were 8 or more runs scored, 5-21 straight up, 9-17 on the run line. Can Oakland close out and win a series? I think so. And this Coors opportunity here today, a couple other spots that I'm kind of leaning towards that I haven't gotten there yet. I like Grichuk to get an RBI. I like him to get a home run as well. When he's at Coors, he's got 4 home runs in his last 4 spots at Coors. So an opportunity to look for, a situation with Grichuk. I don't know about that total. It seems a little lofty to me. Every time I try to get in on that total when it comes to an Oakland game, it bites me in the ass. But the Grichuk home run is +400, and the Grichuk RBI are +115. So that's right around the teeter number. I wouldn't go any lower than +400. I know C-Max talked about that again in the past, where he doesn't like to go below the +400 when it comes to, the homer opportunities. But the +115 RBI, that's around the lowest point I would go on that side of the house as well. So not a ton of value there, but if you parlay it together with Oakland on the money line, you might be there. For me, I've got Oakland money line.
Interesting. Markel, what question should I reword? I forgot. And that wasn't a question when I told Dabby's a giant. Dabby is a giant. He's fucking like 7'5", Markel. And obviously he's got a huge slong too, if that's what you're referring to as well. Huge slong as well, Markel. Giants, Red Sox.
Is it a Southern thing? It seems like every time you're on a stream there, even all the Southern guys, you guys like start talking about dudes. That must be something.
Well, it's frowned upon here in the South. So when we can talk about guys and their dicks, it's generally a good opportunity to. And by the way, I've not seen Dabby's dick. I got told by a secondhand reference. I've got references. Dabby's dick just gigantic, apparently, the biggest dick in the world. And I can't wait to see what the chat says about this conversation now. Red Sox Giants here. And by the way, Dabby hates when I talk about his massive slong too. So it's very fun. The Red Sox lose on a walk-off yesterday. It was pretty disappointing. The offense didn't show up at all until the 8th inning. That happens. The Giants in a bullpen day is tricky. Now we've got the Red Sox on a bullpen day. Bernardino to start. Pivetta will come in after. We'll see what happens. The Giants, who the Giants throwing again? I've already forgotten. Is it Stripling? It's Scott Anderson. Are we going to get Stripling after? I would love to hear what Nufflush has to say, because I remember Nufflush saying that Stripling was like, fuck this, I want to be a starter, and didn't want to do that shit. So I don't think we're getting a Stripling game, and I don't have a primary yet, Mike. Do you have one? Let me see.
It's you got in my head with the Dabby Cab comments. You got in my head. I'm out of sorts right now. Floating through my head thinking about.
Good. I also get out of sorts when I think of Dabby's dick as well. I understand. By the way,
is the primary, right? But they're going to start with Alexander.
Yeah, so it seems like, and it's funny because like I said, Stripling said the other day, he's like, I don't want to fucking do this. So all this stuff, blah blah blah. But it's interesting. I don't believe in Stripling at all. I honestly would love to take the Boston Red Sox here again. And I've seen a lot of people say that they like the Red Sox today, Mike. But the issue again, Well, it's actually the tickets have actually evened out here, which has made it pretty appealing. And I might, fuck me, I might end up on the Red Sox. Who knows? 36% of the bets and 80% of the money on the Red Sox. At first, I thought it was when I first looked at it, it was much higher. It was like 80-80, and now it's 64% of the bets, 20% of the money on the Giants, making me feel better. I'm going to be on the Red Sox. What do you think here?
Yeah, Boston, interesting stat. So going back to last year, July of last year, Boston 0-7 after they're coming off of a situation where they had a 5 or longer game win streak, and they're the favorite in that next game. So they were just on a multi-game win streak where they had the 5-game winner, 0-7 as a favorite after they're coming off of a broken streak. So for me in the San Fran spot, that's where I would have to lean. I know it's tricky with that Boston team in the AL East. San Francisco at home off of a win against the AL East is also 0-11. So ultimately, gotten there just yet, but I lean to San Francisco in this game, and I'll probably end up getting there. In fact, I am going to make it official. I'm going to go with San Francisco right now, plus money, plus 100.
Full game?
Yeah, I'm just go full game. Give me the full game.
Oh, man, very interesting.
Things you don't want to hear, right?
Things I did not want to hear. Things I did not want to hear. I think we should just go back to talking about Dabby's dick, I guess. Fuck. All right.
Things I don't want to hear. Things I don't want to hear.
I think I'm going to move on the Red Sox officially here, but I was also very interested in the under in this game. And, you know, it's funny. I said I was interested in the under, and yet again, Mike, it's one of those 90% spots that I fucking don't want to bet. 48% of the bets and 93% of the money on the under in this game. And it is juiced at eight minus 120. So admittedly, I was like, all right, if I can wait a little bit and get an 8.5, I would be a little more interested in that. But right now it's still 8s for me. Minus 115, minus 120. So I will lay off the under, and I will just take the Red Sox money line, and it'll be a very interesting day. Unsurprising. Everyone knew I was going to take the Red Sox money line, especially when they're hot. So, by the way, Tabby Cab, we appreciate your presence. Your body parts made for good content today. I appreciate that. And I'm risking, if I say it again, Mike, I'm risking it because the lads are coming to San Antonio for the card show here next week for Southtown 101, and I might not be allowed entered in the Airbnb if I keep talking about Dabby Cab's ginormous slong. So that's fine. It's fine. And by the way, again, I didn't see it. I was just told by a woman. So how can I not say that his dick is gigantic? You know, Reds Giants, Reds Dodgers. Excuse me here. What are we gonna do here? It's for me. It's always in these instances. It's underdog or pass, I guess. But I just can't get there. You know, why would I want to bet the Reds here? I think they're done. Michael Grove, obviously a susceptible pitcher, and Graham Ashraf has really pitched well in the last coming few weeks. I just don't want to do it there, Mike. I think there's better uses of my money here today, and in this game, it's absolutely not one of them.
So a couple looks on this game for me. This is going to be a spot where I'm all over the Reds. I got the Reds on the plus 150. A couple reasons there, and I look at the Red spot specifically. I see that the Reds are 7-0 coming off a loss as a road dog. 7-0 streak sounds really nice, but then you look at the Dodgers side of the house. They're 0-7 when they're coming off a situation where they've combined for less than 4 runs or the previous game. And that goes back to May of this year. So it's a relevant trend specifically to this year. At the plus 150 spot, I also see that's a 6-1. So usually when the Dodgers bats get shut down, there's not a lot of runs. That next game, we do see that explosion of offense. And 86% of the money. So the big bets are all coming in on that under 10. And it's at a minus 105. So again, situation where the books do kind of think there's going to be some runs coming as well, from what I can gather. I think they're on the Red side of the house. I like Freeman. I like JD Martinez. I like everything that they got going on over there, except for Michael Grove. And I think the guys, the Fraley, Spencer, Ellie De La Cruz, of course, all our guys that are capable of putting up runs at any given time. So I'm going to take that plus 150 shot with Cincinnati today. Give me the Reds.
Mm-hmm.
Almost made it the pimp slap play of the day. Almost made it to Pimp Slap of the day. That's how much I like the Reds.
Wow. You know, I might have to throw some shekels on the Reds after that. Torrey Coker.
And plus,
go ahead.
Plus 155 is the best number out there on it right now as well.
Yeah, I think I'll join you on the Reds here. Market wise, and Torrey, please, every time we skip that shit, if we skip it and you want to hear it, ask away, because I obviously forget sometimes. So definitely ask away, my man. It doesn't bother me even a little bit. So thank you, Torrey. For this game, market 47 or 41% of the bets, on the Reds, and 90% of the money on the Reds in this game. So bigger bets on the Reds, thinking they're live there. Totals wise here, let's talk about it. Wow. 30% of the money and 86%. Sorry, I said that back. I keep saying this backwards. I don't know why. 30% of the bets and 86% of the money on the under in this game. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, I didn't know. I didn't look at the line moves to see if it didn't move, but I just am shocked to see that all that money on the under. You know, with Grove on the bump and Ashcraft thinking both can get touched. So I'll move on the Reds with you, Mike. Here, solidarity play for you. Reds money line, full game, correct?
Yeah, full game, plus 155.
Cool. I've got it at plus 151 there. So very exciting stuff here coming from this program. We're taking our dog shots today. Mike putting out a plus 200 earlier. First five, I believe that was. Now we're doing this. This is just going to be a good.
What's happening here? Huh? This is how we close the gap. This is how we get you back to the black, dude.
Fuck yeah, it is. Cincinnati money line for me, addition there, and I've got to type all these down because I don't have my regular notepad here. So 2 additions on the card so far. Going to be fun. And by the way, Jacqueline came in at perfect timing. She came in and just missed all of the debauchery earlier, and it was very fun. You know, Mike, it's nothing makes me more happy and satisfied than saying something and then having the entire chat just like freak out about it, positive or negative. It makes me laugh endlessly. I will admit that. So thank you guys to the chat. You guys make the show worth doing. So I appreciate you guys. Mariners, Diamondbacks. Fucking nothing, Mike. Please tell me you've got something good here, because Luis Castillo versus Merrill Kelly is a pretty good pitching matchup. And I was like, I can't pick between these guys. I like both of them on their days. You've probably heard me shit on Luis Castillo and this year, saying that he has had a good year. But I just don't trust him still. I know I'm not there. And maybe it's the Mariners too. The bats obviously aren't there either. So Dabby Cab could be right about that aspect of it. But I wanted nothing to do with this game. 56% of the bets and 81% of the money on the Mariners. And for the totals wise here, under, obviously, because of the pitchers, 81% of the bets and 94% of the money on the under here. Honestly, makes you want to bet the over, but I have nothing on this game.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that side of things. You know, I think it's a Seattle spot. Personally, I think Merrill Kelly's due to kind of yuck it up here. He's 9-4 with a 3.12 ERA, but we're at that point where we see that regression and guys do play to the back of their baseball card. For me, the only spot that I have on this game right now is Eugenio Suarez to get an RBI. His RBI stats, he's got 4 games in a row that he's put up an RBI right now. We know about Hernandez and what he does out there for, the offense when it comes to Seattle, but there's a lot of guys that can get on base, and that Suarez RBI is at a plus 170. So only spot I have for that game right now. And certainly it's a great value at a great number. To put it in perspective, Hernandez's RBI is plus 163. So they're pricing him pretty competitively. What that does to the overall result of the total for the game, I don't know. But I like this. I see a Christian Walker's at plus 160, Ketel Marte's at plus 190. The book's numbers on this thing suggest that there might be a lower scoring game as well. But only spot I have right now is Eugenio Suarez, RBI plus 170.
I love Venezuela bet in there. So shout out to you as well. I guess Justin's right. Dabby Cab couldn't handle the conversation. He said, I'm done. I'm out of here. Oh God, I can't wait for Publipalooza 3, because I'm just gonna do this all in person again. So it's great. This happened during Pubblepalooza 2, Mike. I was told about this during Pubblepalooza 2, and I would just keep just repeating it. And Dabby Cat would get very uncomfortable. So it's very fun. Razor also wasn't here for talking about Cab's gigantic dick too. So I'm disappointed that Razor couldn't get all of that. Maybe he can catch it on the replay, I guess. Let's go to our last two games. Yeah, it's must listen. Thank you. Last two games on the card, Rangers, Padres. I'm bitter still about the Rangers adding Scherzer, but I still don't think they make the playoffs. I said that earlier in the program. Minus 199 here, and they've got Bradford versus Blake Snell. Admittedly, I case of the Dabby Cabs is coming over me right now, and a first 5 over doesn't seem too bad. Like we expect Bradford to get touched up. I could see the Rangers getting to Snell for like 2 runs here, and we can get over. Totals wise for the market, kind of telling a different story. 74% of the bets and 96% of the money on the under in this game. I don't know. I just can't get there, and I don't want to back Cody Bradford, obviously. I mean, he's just not been good. He's kind of just been filling a role, and now, luckily for them, they'll have Max Scherzer filling that spot now. So, pretty easy pass for me here, unfortunately, but we'll see. And AOD, a great question. I don't think Helga is awake. I said that, and she didn't move, so I don't think she's awake. But I'll tell her about Cab's gigantic dick. Don't worry.
Jesus, dude. I don't understand it.
It's just, Mike, it's just fun now. It's just a good time now. I enjoy doing this.
So I'm a hard pass on this Padres game. The surprising stat that I saw is that they're 10-0 versus Texas right now. So they got a 10-game win streak going on there. Jesus. And probably at some point in time, there was an opportunity to get a profit on it, but I'm not going to lay minus 200 on the Padres. I want to take that over, but as I look at the totals, and I think that, the last couple of games, 4-0 yesterday, 7-1 the day before that, 3-2 against the Pirates, 5-1 against the Pirates, 8-4 back a week ago was the last time that they had an over spot. For me, it's not something I want to get involved with. So pass all around, specifically to the total and the side. But I wouldn't be upset about them in a parlay piece. Got to believe that the Rangers are due, right? You can't lose 10 in a row against the team without breaking the bubble, but they just show they can't get it done right now. And they're kind of in that tricky spot where they've got Bradford with his 4.62 ERA going on the mound, and I don't know that he gets it done. So I'm a pass.
Man, Mike, the chat has just been phenomenal today. This is a Hall of Fame chat show. I will admit it, because now Helga's just a figment of my imagination, a phantom, as Lucas Ryan is saying here. Is Helga is she even real? Who knows? If Helga's not real, who's paying off my gambling debts? I don't know. The gas report. You didn't miss much. I'm coming back home, as they'd say. Gas report coming back home. But yeah, this is a fun and nasty Nate knows best. He's just sitting there right now with his shaking his head like, God fucking damn it, I told this fucking kid. And now he's gonna get married with this girl. God, what an idiot. So shout out to Nasty Nate. I love my guy. And Nasty Nate, perhaps Pubblepalooza 3, we can make another tattoo. I'm planning another tattoo on the forearm here, Nasty Nate. So maybe we can do that in Pubblepalooza 3. Mike, tattoo for Pubblepalooza 3, you in?
No, I don't think so.
You're not in?
I don't think so. If I win a large sum of money, I'll consider it. But no, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. You're not opposed to winning large sums of money, and you've done it before. So I'm very interested now. Clint gets us into our final game. Let's touch on the night game. Have to take the O's tonight. Play of the day. Man, oh man, I want to take the Orioles. Everyone knows that. I fucking hate the Yankees. They come back with a great offensive performance. Aaron Judge finally hits a home run. Oh, the Yankees are back. Oh my God, Aaron Judge. No. I don't know. that voice takes a lot out of me now, I guess. I just can't get there with the Yankees, so I don't believe in their offense. Minus 134, admittedly is a little expensive for me, Mike M. I don't know how you feel about it. It's at minus 136 now. Luis Severino versus Dean Kramer, 8.5 is the total. I lean over. It's unsurprising. I think all these offenses can get to both of these guys. And my issue is, and I've had this issue for a really long time with Dean Kramer, is he's good. He's good, but when it comes to the division, it just feels like every time I see him against a division foe, he gets fucking crushed. And maybe it's the familiarity. I'm not sure, but just last couple of starts. Philadelphia, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run. The Dodgers, a good team, 4 1/3, 5 earned runs. Miami, 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run. And then he faced these very New York Yankees, obviously without Aaron Judge. 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, 10 Ks, 1 walk there. He faced the Yankees earlier in the season as well. For his second start of the season, was 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs there. If I try to spit that out, I really think the difference there is just Aaron Judge, and I'm a little worried about him today. I don't trust Dean Kramer in division. Luis Severino, I think, just sucks. So I absolutely lean over in this game. Let's talk to the market here first. God, again, Mike. It's so funny when I'm like, yeah, I kind of lean one way, and then the market is just like ridiculously like 90+% on the other side. 39% of the bets and 92% of the money on the under in this game. And that's probably like the better situation. If I want to be on a 90% spot, I would rather the tickets be as low as possible, not my like 50%, 90% money spot that I'm on in this game or in this show as well with another bet. I've already forgotten. But unfortunately, after that, I have to pass this game. Like I said, I like the over in this game. I think both these pitchers can get touched up, but the market's screaming under. And I think this is Orioles or pass sidewise here, but I just don't trust Dean Kramer enough. So give us your expert opinion here, Mike.
I don't know about expert, but I like the Yankees at this price at plus 120 on a Sunday night game, Sunday night live, Sunday night. Everyone's going to have all the eyes on them. That's a team that knows how to carry the spotlight. And the Orioles with Dean Kramer, they just don't play well against the Yankees. So his numbers, are definitely abysmal when it comes to playing against the Pinstripes. And I think in this team here, particularly in a live spot, something to keep an eye on. So write this down. If it's a nerfy, if it's no run in the first inning, Dean Kramer, specifically Dean Kramer, 18-4 straight up, 15-7 on the run line, and 6-15 to the under. So don't get these live situations very often, but they've been incredibly profitable. Three of the last 4 have cashed, both first half unders, full game unders, and the sides. So something to keep an eye on. No run first inning. Great opportunity to live bet the Orioles and the under. But for me, specifically in this game, I've got the Yankees. I took them at plus 120.
You took the Yankees? Wow. BJ's on the Yankees.
I'm not going to pass on plus 120. Give me that money.
Yeah. BJ's on the Yankees as well, and I could easily see BJ getting his money back here. I mean, he bet the Yankees earlier in the series, and that was the 1-0, and I felt bad for him because it was a split spot. He was on the Yankees, I was on the Blue Jays or on the Orioles. I was thinking about him the whole game, but I absolutely think this could be that spot where he gets his money back on him here, and he can get a win here. But I just don't want to mess with him. If it's an under game like the market has said. Oh, and he had the Yankees yesterday too, so you even got your money back yesterday. Get your money back and then some. But if it's an under game, I think that favors the Yankees. So yeah, I will probably pass on this game as well. Rude Boy, good name, Rude Boy. New name in the chat, asking about the Pimp Slap play of the day. Let's recap all of our action here, Mike M, and let's shout out any featured plays that we are on here today. Thank you guys all for tuning in and sticking through the show. We appreciate all of you guys that stayed through all the Dabby Cab chatter, and we appreciate that, or I appreciate that at least. And if you don't like it, I've got 2 words for you. What's 3 words? Suck my dick. Actually, if it was Dabby's dick, it would be a lot bigger, obviously. And by the way, Helga's awake, so now she's going to hear me talking about Dabby's ginormous dick, so that's not good. Let's recap our plays here, Mike. Officially for me, I've got 5 plays here. Angels, Blue Jays, first 5 under, 5 minus 122. The full game under in the White Sox Guardians name, under 9 minus 110. Royals, first 5 money line, plus 143 there. And 2 additions, Reds money line, shout out to you, Mike, joining you there, plus 151. And the Boston Red Stockings money line, minus 118 there. all official for me. Going to be a fun one. I did not end up making that Giants Red Sox under official there. So shout out to that. But that's what I'm on here, Mike. What do you think? And what do you want?
Yeah, full card today. So Toronto spot's about to pop off over 9. I parlayed them with the Philadelphia Phillies plus 166. I took the Nerfy and the under in the Phillies game. The Detroit first 5 under 3.5. The Nationals taking that money line at plus 205 for the first 5. The White Sox first half under 5, full game under 9. Minnesota under 5 in the first 5. Houston, Oakland, San Fran, Cincy, Eugenio Suarez to get an RBI, and I got the Yankees in the Sunday night tilt. So full card, lots of plus money spots today. You're muted, Dabby.
I really am Dabby now. Damn, I'm just missing the dick. A's money line here. Yeah, exactly. I'm fucked up. A's, I'm getting all the worst parts. A's money line minus 106 and Yankees money line there for BJ. Shout to BJ. He makes those big boy bets. So we love that. Jacqueline finally caught some of the Dabby Cap chatter, so she might be out now too. So shout to you, Jacqueline. Yes, Vitalis, we do be kissing Helga with his mouth. It's a great time, and we appreciate everyone in here as well. Ooh, Ron Crawford spicing it up at the end of the program. Spreadsheet play of the day, little Baltimore Orioles here for Ronnie Crawford. So shout out to you, Ron. Spreadsheet play of the day on the Baltimore Orioles there. Oh, Mike, I appreciate you for joining me. I hope you had a great day yesterday. Tell your friend that we appreciate them for letting us use his computer and all that stuff. We appreciate that. Where can the people find you?
You guys see me on Twitter there all the time, right? In, on, and around Pub Sports Radio opportunities, getting out there with my guy Razor Sharp, getting on Sharpie's show, getting on the sesh. We're doing it all over the place, guys. So keep following, keep tuning in, hit that like button, retweet the show, and let everybody know we're out there, man. We're here to make money and help everybody do the same.
Exactly. Mike, now that you know about my beef with Dutch, you next time you go on the sesh, you have to ask him about me now. You'd be like, "Oh, Dutch, how are you and your best friend Jose?" And he'll say, "Oh, that little motherfucker Jose," and something like that. So it'll be fun to see how that goes out. So, Mike, again, I appreciate you. Thank you for doing these Sunday shows with me. And we're going to be seeing a lot more of Mike M in the fall too, which I'm very excited about. We cannot talk about it yet, but I'm very excited to say that we will be seeing a lot more of Mike M in the fall as well. So I cannot wait. Mike, by the way, I just have you started your football previews and such? You've been doing that research?
Yeah, I think it's starting. It's slow but steady. We're seeing some injuries start to come through, and we're going to see what happens long term here. But I already gave you guys the Super Bowl winner. I'll give you the NFL MVP too if you want to hear today. He's got a couple of initials. They're J and H. It's Jalen Hurts. Get your Jalen Hurts NFL MVP props in there.
Okay,
I anointed him the champion on Friday night show, so I'm going to run it back and stick to it here on Sunday night or Sunday afternoon.
Good. I love that. I love that for you. Jalen Hurts. That's funny. I have a lot of Eagles fans friends and a lot of Philadelphia fans friends, and I obviously am a big Jets fan. But the football is where I can be like, you know what? I want Philadelphia to throw them a bone. I don't want the 76ers to win anything. Obviously, I don't really care about the Phillies, but I'd rather the Red Sox win. So I'm just like, you know what? The Eagles, they can win. I don't care. Do their thing. As long as the Jets make the playoffs, I'll be okay. Oh, goodness. Let's shout out everyone in the chat one more time before we get out of here. And let's let Helga sleep a little bit as well. Big O, Tori Coker, my guy Perky Sanderson, Johnny K. And by the way, Ron Crawford, don't worry, I got you. Stacks Pod was Mickey Mo over 1.5 bases there. Shout out to Justin McElvey in here. Tori Coker, a 49ers fan. I didn't know he was a 49ers fan. Shout out to you there, Tori. Steve G in here saying screw Dab and his gigantic slong. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. Rants, all you guys, Andrew G. Gagnon, By the way, Gagnon, I've told Debbie Cab this to his face, looked at him right in the eyes and told him that he had a big dick. So it's one of those things. We have a good relationship, me and Debbie Cab. Probably that's why, you know. Vitalis, Ron Crawford, Jacqueline in here, all you guys, Jake Burns, Rude Boy, the people that didn't like all the dick talk today. We appreciate you guys. Ron Crawford, CFL play of the day is Calgary plus 2.5. So shout out to you there as well. What a show. What a show. I think this is going to be the episode that I'll remember as Dab's dick episode, Mike. And I hope you remember this episode of Say Hey Plays for a while too.
I will have a hard time forgetting it.
Good. Nasty Nate, thanks for watching. Let's fucking have a day, guys. Let's have a day. Shout out to Dabby's dick. Appreciate everyone for watching. Say hey on social media at Jose Bouquett, at Pin Slap Pod for Mike M. Say hey, and we'll see you guys next time.